project's been around for probably a number of decades, and had been studied by a bunch of different groups. After multiple studies, the project hadn't found an economic solution to develop it. MinRes have re-entered with a proposal to design, build, and operate the operation with a different approach to what was proposed previously, and that's fundamentally shifted the economics and the viability of the project. So we had the earth-moving equipment. We had a very limited amount of tenure that we had access to, and the team basically had delivered the mining equipment to site there, and they literally built the trucks and the equipment in the spinifex. So they're working out of caravans. The early accommodation at Ken's Bore was a 36-person caravan camp. The dry mess was a canvas tent.
I suppose to most people, when something like this would be presented to you, the first thing in your mind would be, this isn't going to work. However, I've been in this business with MinRes for 6.5 years, and nothing's impossible. Okay, when it comes to MinRes, and in particular CSI Mining Services. A lot of things that we have implemented throughout the years and done prior to Onslow has been game-changing for the industry. So the next step with Onslow and unlocking this ore body, which has been stranded for years, if there was anyone capable of doing it and making it work, it was going to be CSI Mining Services.
The starting position was we needed to deliver a 35 million tonne per annum pit to ship solution, and that started at the mine. And at the mine, we delivered our next gen crushing plants. We've got 3 modular crushing plants at the mine, and they were to deliver into a stockyard, into a truckload out, and deliver to the site. So that was the first bit of innovation. We've got an A320 airport. We've got a much publicised resort that we've put in, and those pieces of infrastructure took a lot of thought, took a lot of internal innovation and work to deliver what you see today on site, which is really world class. We've been on the jumbo road train journey for some time, but in this application it was new. 150 kilometres of haul road running from the Hamersley Ranges through to the Onslow coast, and country from there to the coast is we're in tidal flats at the coast. We're in the Hamersley Ranges at the mine. So designing the haul road, from pit to port had significant challenges. Look, this road is a world first. It doesn't exist to these axle loads, to this capacity anywhere in the world.
So we were the first company to really do transshipping at scale. And at scale means not only the number of transshippers, but the speed that they load and discharge. But the really incredible thing about this whole arrangement was that, we had a unique design. The design, it had to meet a certain criteria. It had to be shallow draft. It had to carry as much cargo as we possibly could. They had to be highly manoeuvrable, like getting in and out of the terminal was really challenging, and we had to build them relatively quickly because we had a very short time frame. So that sort of led itself to the concept of the articulated tug and barge, which we adapted in a unique way for this project. So we looked at running it from the wheelhouse and having a big umbilical that controlled the tug, and that was the game changer. That's the first time it's ever been done in the whole world.
Yeah, so broke ground 17th of June 2023, and first ore on ship 11 months later, 17th of May 2024. Yes, I was on board the transshipper that day, and like all those things, the first time you do things, you expect to see a few challenges. Those transshippers are unbelievable. That they pulled up to the ship, tied up, swung the boom round, and just started loading. It was exceptional, and they just discharged the whole load in one hit, and away they went, and then from there they haven't looked back.
The first time that the boom came out, cargo came off and went into a hold. It was a pretty big relief, to be honest. It was, and I guess I was always concerned about the discharge side of the operation, because we're putting something big alongside something very big in the middle of the ocean, and that's always tricky. And once we did that a couple of times, and our crew got really good at that really quickly, I knew at that point in time this was going to be successful.
From first ore on ship in May to the end of June the following year, we were probably 4 to 5 hours away from finishing the 15th ship in that month and achieving a nameplate in effectively 13 months. It was achieved in August, so it was effectively a 14-month ramp up where we were at the 35 million tonne per annum rate since first ore on ship to 15 ships a month.
There's not many things that gets thrown at us in relation to a business within CSA that we can't overcome. That's being led by a lot of great people that we have within the business, and the ability to actually think differently, and not just think differently, but implement that and see it through. That's been a game changer for us as a business.
The most important thing that makes this project special is the people. But I think it's fair to say when they actually started seeing what the resort looked like, what the road looked like, what the port facilities, the transshippers, they then realised this is a completely unique and very different model, and this is really changing the way that mining is done. Mining villages, communities, they have come a long way, but nothing goes to this level. This exceeds all expectations. It has the lowest turnover, highest engagement, highest amount of diversity. The productivity is exceptional. I think Mangala really contributes to the outcomes that Ken's Bore is now seeing.
The project spans 150 kilometres from the mine site to the port. It also spans 40 kilometres offshore where we load the ocean-going vessels. And across that location we interact and touch a lot of stakeholders. From the initial approvals and projects and getting started, right through to construction and right through to operations, continue to really focus on the relationships we have with our particular traditional owners. The Thalangi people in Onslow has been fantastic. The Robe River Kuruma people in land at the mine site has been excellent, and no one could have achieved what's been achieved here at Onslow in the time that it's been achieved. Onslow Iron is it's a game changer for MinRes. It is in terms of scale compared to other operations, in terms of longevity. That's a 30-year plus operation, and for the future deposits and scope for further growth. And the scale of it and the efficiency of how it's been designed and how it operates, the cash flow that it generates will not only sustain the business but sort of underpin future growth projects for the businesses. It's an amazing platform to then set up MinRes for decades to come.